Various modules can be used to control layout in Drupal beyond what we've seen so far. For example, there's the Display Suite module, which we're going to look at in some detail in this lesson, that can be used to create custom view modes as well as multi-column and similar layouts. But there's also modules like panels, which can be used to create reusable layouts, and the context module for conditional layouts and behaviors. Now, this is Drupal, so these are all open source projects, and in some cases they do have complementary and even overlapping functionality. But each of them provides an approach to solving common concerns, such as which fields should be displayed and how should they be displayed when viewing or editing a node, and how should they be arranged by column or sequence. But you'd find that there are additional behaviors that they enable as well that are beyond the scope of this introduction. So for example, if you're working with view modes for display, the Display Suite UI module, which is part of the Display Suite project that you would install, allows you to, for example, go to a teaser view mode that has been enabled and cause it to be laid out with a multi-column layout, and then you would configure which fields appear in which column. Similarly, you can use the Display Suite Forms module to edit the form layouts. And so, for example, here on the Manage Fields tab, you would find, once it was installed, the ability to add perhaps a fluid two-column layout. And then you would configure, again, which fields appear in which part of the layout. Let's jump in and take a look at this. So, again, it's the Display Suite module we're working with, drupal.org/project/ds. And you'd see there are a number of developers for this project, a very active issue queue, and you'd see that it is actively maintained and under active development. You would install it the way we installed modules earlier in the course. Once it was installed, you would find it in the appropriate category on your modules page. I'll collapse everything to notice that they are listed alphabetically by category, and I'd see that there is the Display Suite category with a number of modules within it. Specifically for this demo, I want to enable the Display Suite UI module in order to change the layout of the view mode that we'll work with, as well as the Display Suite Forms module that would allow us to create an alternate layout, multi-column layout for an edit form. I'll go ahead and save those changes, noting that the underlying Display Suite module itself will be installed as a dependency. With those installed, I'm going to go to my book content type, structure, content types, and I'm going to manage the display for the content type. Previously, we created a teaser display and rearranged the sequence of fields and adjusted the trim length. But now, with the Display Suite UI module installed, I have the option to create a layout for book in the teaser view mode. So I'm going to select a two-column layout. I'll go ahead and save these changes. And now we see that I have both a left and a right region. I'm going to modify this, and I'll also note far more fields are available. When working with Display Suite, all possible fields are exposed to you. I'm going to say that I want title to appear in the left column, and I also want genre to appear in the left column. And we've already got author name, but I don't want description to appear, so I'm going to drag that into the disabled area. You can either adjust using the drop-downs or drag and drop. Now on the right side, I want the book cover. I'll click and drag the book cover into the right region, and I'll save these changes and see what we have so far for our teaser. Go out to the main page, and now we see our teaser appears with the title, author name, genre, and the book cover. However, I notice that they're not clickable. I'm going to go back to Structure, Content Types, and Manage Display for my book, click to my teaser view mode, and for title, I'm going to go and click on my gear wheel button to the right, and notice that I have an option to make my title a link. I'll go ahead and click yes for this and update that field. Also, for my book cover, if I click on gear wheel, I see I have the option to configure a specific image style with specific measurements, and I also have the option to link the image to either the content or the underlying image file. I'll choose to link this through to the content of this node. I'll click to update the field, and then I will save these changes to my layout. I'll go back to the main page, and now we see that both the book title as well as the book image are linked to the underlying content displaying in our full content view mode. Now, similarly, because we enabled the Display Suite Forms module, if I go back to my book content type and manage fields, you'll recall that the sequence of fields on the Manage Fields tab controls the sequence on the edit form, but we now also would have the option to specify a particular layout for the edit form, be it 1-column, 2-column, fluid, 3-column, etc. And you now know enough to choose a layout and configure the fields and columns as you choose.